The first passage was about polarization, violence, sectarianism that accompanies the decline of nations, the decline and fall of nations. So let's read the passage and have a quick summary before we look at the questions. The American empire is waning. That might well be a good thing for Americans and non Americans alike. But the early signs are not promising. Like Didio's machines in the moments immediately after peak hegemonic cooperation, we finding that our differences are becoming intolerable. When empires that span diverse populations disintegrates, history suggests the potential for conflict is high. Let's understand what he is saying. He says that the American empire is waning, is going down. Waning means waning moon is the moon that decreases in size. So waning is decreasing, going down in size or power, which is maybe a good thing for Americans and non Americans. But he says the early signs are not good because the moments immediately after peak hegemonic cooperation, after the country is at its peak, after domination is at its peak, the moments after peak hegemonic cooperation, we find that our differences become intolerable. So once the peak is over, then our differences increase and we become more and more intolerable. When empires that span diverse populations disintegrate, when an empire is in shambles, starts disintegrating, history suggests, this is borne out by history, the potential for conflict is high. So when an empire is in decline, when it starts disintegrating, the chances of conflict, the potential for conflict is high. The end of the British Empire in India gave birth to violent sectarianisms. The Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian and Soviet empires did much the same. So when the British Empire ended, when the Ottoman Empire ended, when the Austro-Hungarian and Soviet empires ended, what happened? It gave rise to violent sectarianism, sects fighting against each other, or the society divided into sects which obviously fight against one another. The American empire was far more powerful and wide ranging than any that came before. So, we're talking of the British Empire, the Ottoman Empire, but remember, the American empire was far more powerful than all these empires that we mentioned. That's the first paragraph. As it diminishes, aggressive sectarian impulses are seemingly in the ascendant almost everywhere, as it refers to the American empire. As the American empire diminishes, aggressive sectarian impulses are seemingly in the ascendant. They seem to be rising almost everywhere. Name a country today, it's likely to either be run by a strong man who claims to speak for the true people or the folk, or otherwise has a strong man in waiting maneuvering to take control. So as any empire diminishes, sectarianism rises. If you notice, he says, look at any country, it's either led by by a strong man, a powerful person, a powerful leader, all right, or one who claims the strong man claims that he represents the people, and or it has a person who's equally strong, who is in waiting ready to take over power. There are strong women too, but far fewer of them. I imagine the empire building machines of Didio's simulations as doing three things. So we have now come across this name Didio twice. Now if you don't know who he is, we don't know, for the purpose of this RC we'll say this Didio made some machines. And what did he do? These machines, empire building machines of Didio simulated. These machines simulated empire building. Okay, they are doing three things increasingly and exquisitely well. So, what are these machines simulating? The actual empires. They are doing three things very well. What is that? Identifying differences that permit sorting into categories of like me and not like me. So, they identify the differences which permit sorting of people into those who are like me and those who are not like me. Cooperating with those in the like me category. So, what do people do? First, they identify in the society who is like me and who is not like me. Then they identify with the group which is similar to me. Like me doesn't mean you have to like me, it is people who are like me, and you go and identify with the group which is similar to you, and destroying the not like me category. Now, I group with people who are like me, and I'm intolerant. There can be no, I cannot tolerate any difference. You are not like me, you're different from me, I would destroy you. That's what the simulating machine has done. First, sort me and people who are like me, people who are similar, and people who are dissimilar. Identify with people who are similar, with groups who are similar, and go against those who are dissimilar. That's what the machine, the simulation does. Our species has similarly, we are doing exactly what the machine does. Our species has, because it's a simulating machine, it's not doing something on its own, it's just simulating or copying us. Our species has similarly become incredibly skilled at cooperating. Thousands of people in dozens of different countries collectively manufactured the computer on which I am writing this. So our species has become very good at cooperating. We too have developed the capacity to kill along an entire spectrum from wholesale to bespoke. We also have developed the capacity to kill. We have tremendous capacity to cooperate. He gives the example of a computer. We're working on a computer which is the result of cooperation of so many different people. He says, at the same time, our species has developed the capacity to kill along an entire spectrum. So, this killing has also gone on an entire spectrum. Wholesale killing, nuclear, chemical, biological weapons, to bespoke, customized killing. Okay, quietly disappearing those who trouble us. Okay, get rid of them, which is obviously a pressing, indeed existential concern. This matter of developing the capacity to kill, whole scale or customized, is a matter of concern. It's a matter of worry. Why? But our ability to kill has not changed as rapidly in recent years as our sorting mechanism appears to have. Our ability to kill has remained the same, more or less, not increased too much. But what has increased? What has changed? Our sorting mechanism, the mechanism by which we are differentiating those who are like us and those who are different from us. It is our impulse to sort. We have instinctively developed this impulse. You looking at somebody, you immediately sort him into the category of similar or different. It's our impulse to sort. Sort means to sift. Okay, and the importance that we place on sorting, that has gone truly haywire. So, in modern systems, what has gone haywire? What has gone out of control? The impulse to sort and the importance we place on sorting human beings instead of accepting. We are sorting human beings into groups, silos, like me, not like me. That has gone haywire, that has gone out of control. The end of the American Empire is coinciding with the age of the cyborg. A transformation worthy of science fiction did occur. So, by the end of the American Empire, we have changed. This is the age of the cyborg, and the transformation that has occurred in us is worthy of science fiction, unimaginable before. That kind of transformation, that kind of change has come in us. We become attached to our screens, merged with the machine culture behind those screens, changed far more than some child might in the process of merely becoming a Jedi. We have changed so much more than a child is getting transformed into a Jedi. We've changed a lot. That's the summing up of that paragraph. The machine world is a binary world. It strikes me that we have to learn to apply those zeros and ones to our thinking. Our thinking has become binary, sorting everything into ones and zeros to different categories. We have learned to apply those zeros and ones to our thinking, intensifying our impulse to sort one another into like me, not like me and different from me. At what might well be, historically speaking, at this point, America is on the decline. We have changed a lot. We have this impulse to sort. into what might be the worst possible moment. This is the worst possible moment in history, a moment when, as empire recedes, we are already predisposed to sort excessively. This is a moment. He is calling it the worst possible moment. Why is it the worst possible moment? Because the empire is receding and we have a tendency, we are predisposed, we have a tendency to sort excessively, do this categorization inordinately, and to fetishize tests of purity. We also have become made fetishes of tests of purity. We are obsessed with the tests of purity. The result, as we can see, is all around us. The result, as we can see all around us, is a disastrous confluence, is a disastrous merging of all the terrible isms that he has put: polarization, militarism, democratic dysfunction, and environmental disregard. Because of this, there is a disastrous merging, confluence. All four got joined together. What? None of these are something that you look forward to. Polarization, division of society into two poles, two opposite ends. Militarism, democratic dysfunction, democracies are not functioning well, and environmental disregard. In the same way that the most deadly aspect of COVID before vaccination and pharmaceutical treatments became available was an overreaction of our immune systems to the virus, the dreaded cytokine storm, destroying healthy lung tissue in an overzealous attempt to fight the disease. So he has compared the situation to the most deadly aspect of COVID. COVID before we found the treatment and the vaccinations for it. What did we do? There was an overreaction of our immune system to the virus, and in treating the virus, we in our attempts to fight the disease, we destroyed perfectly healthy lung tissue, right? Because of this, what happened was that. Okay, so he's compared the society and the situation in declining American empire, or the end of the American empire, with our reactions, our actions just before treatment for COVID and vaccination for COVID was discovered. The challenge we now face is an overreaction of our societal immune systems to one another. That was an overreaction of our immune system to the virus. Now, the societal overreaction is taking place. Our overreaction is to the societal immune system, not to our bodily immune system, to one another. It is ruinous for us to be once rampantly identifying as zeros those with whom we have any significant level of disagreement. So what is happening is we are doing something ruinous. We are identifying as zeros, not like me, anybody with whom we have a significant level of disagreement. It underestimates the human capacity for messy and unexpected plasticity. This reaction undermines or weakens the human capacity. We are capable of unexpected plasticity. Plasticity means flexibility. But our reaction, our overreaction, our impulse to sort is weakening that capacity for flexibility, adjustment, adaptability. Our approaches to seeking a better, more inclusive, and more equitable future urgently need to be found. We need to find other approaches. To what? To building a better, more inclusive. Our approach is not inclusive, it's exclusive. Me different from me. So he says we have to find a better, more inclusive, more equitable future, something which is fair. And we need to find it urgently because the situation is pretty bad. The author of the passage is most likely to support which one of the following statements? The question which asks you what is he likely to support generally would be focused on the main point of the author. What is the main point of the author? We've already summarized. When you read the passage, you need to summarize it, right? So how would you summarize it? First paragraph, he says that it's the end of the empire. When an empire is depleting, that is when conflict, sectarianism, polarization is at the peak. Then he talks about we right now, uh, American people have this tendency to have this impulse to sort into people who are like me, who are similar to me, and people who are different from me. Our reaction at the end of the American Empire, there has been a confluence of all the negative things: democratic dysfunction, polarization, militarism, everything. We have this overzealous attempt to sort people into binaries, zeros, those who disagree with us, and ones, those who are like me. And we do not tolerate anybody who's different from us. So we need to urgently find a solution by which our society will be more inclusive and more uh, equitable. That's what he said. So, which is he likely to support? Now, it could be on the main point, or it depends on the question setter to to state a point which is a part of the passage. Let's first look at the options. Go back to the passage if there is a necessity to cross check what has been given. Large empires give rise to violence and separatism. Human nature cannot be easily shaped or molded. Technology did succeed in changing us profoundly. Contemporary society is not sorting people along racial lines. Now, let's remember what the author said in the passage. Is it large empires that gave rise to violence or sectarianism? What gives rise to violence and sectarianism according to the author? The waning, the disintegration of a great empire. So it's not the empire itself which leads to violence and sectarianism. It is the disintegration of the empire which does that. Therefore, this word in the option is wrong. So author will not agree with A. Human nature cannot be easily shaped or molded. The author has said that in sorting people, we are undermining, we are weakening the basic human nature, which is messy and tremendous plasticity, he said. So he said we are capable of tremendous plasticity, which means flexibility. So he will not agree that human nature cannot be shaped. Messy and unexpected plasticity, he says. So he will not agree that we are not adaptable. We are. Now, more and more, with the decline of the empire, with the rise of polarization and all, we are sorting and we are weakening that basic nature. Therefore, we are capable of it. So B, he will not agree. Technology did succeed in changing us profoundly. Yes, he said that. He said that the change in us is a transformation worthy of science fiction. We have changed so much that this change is worthy of science fiction. It's something like, science fiction writes about all impossible or what seems impossible. So this transformation is so much that it's almost worthy of being put in a science fiction book. Therefore, technology has changed us profoundly. I'll just take you back to the passage where he said that contemporary society is not suiting people. Contemporary society is sorting people on every basis, like me and different from me, and racial lines is one of them, because he said we are stressing on purity. Purity means purity of race, and that again is racial lines. Therefore, C also he will not agree with. Let's quickly look at the passage where he says technology changed us profoundly. In paragraph 4, he says, the end of the American Empire is coinciding with the age of the cyborg. A transformation worthy of science fiction did occur. We become attached to our screens, merged with the machine culture behind those screens, and changed far more than transformation of a child into a Jedi. Got it? Therefore, yes, we have changed a lot, and the author would agree with it. Therefore, the answer is C.